You're listening to The Ride to Work with Pastor Fred. Fuel for your faith before you clock in. Enjoy the ride.
Good day, everybody out there. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and we're talking about I Need Some Work this week. That's the series title, I Need Some Work. And today we're talking about I need some work. Watch this on my discipline. Woo, man. I need some work on my discipline. We talked about our attitude yesterday. Talked about our attitude. Now we want to talk about what I do consistently. I mean, because we kind of discussed this somewhat last week about being consistent. What I do consistently. My discipline. Huh? That's what I want you to do. Look, before you step into today's actions, responsibilities, all the things that you have to do, I want you to think about something. Look, watch this. I want you to think about what separates the person you are from the person you say you want to become. What's the breach? What's that gulf in between? What's separating those individuals? Because a lot of times the difference it's not about talent, it's not opportunity, it's not even about resources, it's discipline. That's what it's about. It's about being disciplined. I mean, everybody, all of us, listen, we all have had moments where we're motivated. We have days where we feel inspired. Yes, everybody has moments where they say, you know what, this is the day I'm going to change. This is the day it happens for me. But the real test is not what you do when you feel like it. The real test is what you do when you don't. Mm? What you do when you don't. And and this is kind of inspired by and I hope he's listening. Co-worker of mine, also a dear friend, like a little brother to me. Because he for a long time has been, trying to get certain type of business off the ground, and he has the talent, he has the gift to do it. All of that, he's blessed with that, and matter of fact, I think he had his soft launch this weekend, and I pray to God that it went well. I wasn't able to attend the experience due to prior engagements, but I'll check with him to see, I mean, how things went with the launch. But um, one thing that has to happen. He has to know to be consistent. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when it don't seem like it's panning out like you want it to. Because look, motivation will get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving. You've all been motivated at some point in time. That's why the question today is, do I need some work on my discipline? That's the question today. The first thing I want you to get right out the box, right out the chute. Look, I need you to stop negotiating with what you already know. Stop doing that. One of the biggest battles we fight is not a lack of information, it's a lack of execution. It's execution. Most people already know what they need to do. Come on, you do. You know the conversation you need to have. You know the habit you need to break. You know the responsibility you need to handle. You know the goal you need to pursue. The issue isn't always knowledge or having knowledge. Sometimes the issue is that we keep negotiating with ourselves. That's what we keep doing. Listen, I mean, have you ever talked yourself out of something you knew was good for you? Have you? I'll start tomorrow. I'll handle it later. I'll get serious about it next week. You see, the problem with later is later keeps moving. Later keeps moving. See, discipline means you stop allowing temporary feelings to make permanent decisions because feelings change. Energy changes, circumstances change, but your commitment has to remain even through change. Huh? A person who only feels like does what they feel like doing will always be controlled by their emotions. They will. Always. 100%. They'll always be controlled by their emotions if they do only do what they feel like doing. Mm? And emotions are valuable, but they're not supposed to be your leader. You're not supposed to be led by them. Your emotions are information. Look, let me put it to you like this. Emotions, they tell you how you feel. They don't always tell you what you should do. They don't. Mm. Hear me when I say this. Watch this. I think I wrote this down. See if I wrote it down correctly. If I only obey my feelings, if I only obey my feelings, I will never become who my purpose requires me to be. If I only obey my feelings, I won't get there. I won't achieve it. I won't. Because when it doesn't feel good, I'll listen to that and won't pursue it anymore. If it doesn't look good, I'll listen to that and won't even try anymore. I'll never become who my purpose requires me to be if I'm only running off my emotions, my feelings. Second thing I need you to understand, listen, discipline is keeping promises to yourself. Let's do that. Let's keep our promises to us. A lot of people want others to trust them. They do. We want others to trust us, but the first person you need to build trust in is yourself. That's what needs to happen because every time you tell yourself, I'm going to do this and you don't, you know what's going on? You're teaching yourself that your own word don't carry weight. It don't carry weight and that affects confidence. Think about it. When you constantly break promises to yourself, I'm going to save money. I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to finish this project. I'm going to change this habit. I'm going to start being to work on time. I'm going to start being focused. I'm going to start communicating more. What happens is you start doubting yourself eventually. And it's not because you're not capable, it's because you haven't shown yourself consistency. What are you showing you? Because what you're showing you, you are believing. I can't say it any clearer than that. What are you showing you? We want everybody else to be impressed with us in this way and to have confidence and faith in us in this way. But what are you showing and feeding yourself to where you can have that same effect from your own mindset? Your own outlook of yourself is confidence, is trust, is faith. But you got to show yourself that. Huh? Because confidence ain't built on talking yourself into believing you're great. Confidence is built by evidence. Evidence. Where's your evidence? Where is it? Because even every small promise you keep gives you confidence. I can trust myself. I can finish this. I can change. Think about it. Every disciplined decision that you make, what I consider that is a vote for the person you're becoming. Vote for you. But you got to make disciplined decisions. Listen, let me hurry up and close this out. The third point I need you to understand, look, small habits create big character. Small habits create big character. I'm going to say it again because I need you to get it into your psyche, into your hearing. Let it, marinate in your mind right now. Small habits create big character. A lot of people are waiting for one huge moment to transform their life, and that shouldn't be. They're waiting for that big opportunity, that big breakthrough, that big change. But most transformations happen quietly. One decision, one habit, one choice at a time. Most of them happen quietly. Your life is not usually changed by one giant decision. It's not. Yeah, that moment happened. That situation occurred, yes, but you know what? Your life is changed by the small decisions you repeat. What you do daily becomes who you are eventually. Think about it. Think about it, people. Mm, think about it. Small disciplines today create the destiny you desire tomorrow. Mm? Look, person look at a mountain and says, "What? I can't climb that." But the mountain is not climbed in one step. Nope. It's climbed one step at a time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is looking at the size of the mountain instead of focusing on the next step. Focus on the next step. Look, today, don't try to become a completely different person overnight. Don't do that. I don't want you to even try to do that. Just pick one thing. Pick one habit. Just one commitment. One area in your life and just work on it. That's it. Just work on it. Discipline isn't punishment. Discipline is preparation. That's what I want you to do. Find it, point it out, and say, you know what? I'm going to tackle this right now. One step at a time. I don't want to click my heels and lightning flash and the thunder rolls and then I'm all of a sudden I'm changed. I wish it was that easy, but it don't work like that. So I'm going to pick this one thing out right now that maybe I'm not real fond of in my life. Maybe I know needs some development, some changing, and I'm going to work on it one step at a time. Mm, let's do that. All right, and we'll be riding again tomorrow. We will. Because some of us need some work on our integrity, and that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Someone once told me integrity is what you do when nobody's watching. So we going to see how much work we need on our integrity. We'll see you again. God bless.